So it finally happened. SHTF came and went, and it's been a long-term grid down situation. There's been no running water, no power, and no trash collection. This means that you have to figure out what to do in terms of sanitation on your own. And I'd hate to break it to you, but people tend to be pigs when someone else isn't cleaning up after them. For example, during Hurricane Sandy, apartment complexes had the problem of dealing with tenants defecating and urinating in the hallways because there was no running water and they had already filled their toilets to capacity and couldn't flush them. Now, whereas I can't imagine the average prepper being this ignorant of waste disposal, nevertheless, today we will be talking about prepper survival sanitation. It stands to reason that you cannot allow trash of any kind to accumulate on or near your property. Not only can it potentially alert passers-by of your presence, but piles of garbage attract animals and insects, which can lead to disease that will ultimately affect you personally. The first thing that you will have to do is start sorting everything that's being disposed of and break it down into categories. Basically, all that recycling that you never wanted to do, now you have to do it, because many different types of items will have to be disposed of in different ways. Paper, cardboard, wood, and even fabric can all be used as fuel. They will burn well in a fireplace or fire pit for warmth or cooking, or as a base for incinerating other trash. Just be sure not to burn chemically treated woods in your fireplace or use it in a fire for cooking. If you are going to incinerate trash, there are some things you probably shouldn't be burning because of toxic smoke or ground contamination. Those things are plastic, rubber, chemically treated wood, anything that contained chemicals inside of it, metals, or human and animal feces. Food waste, for the most part, should be composted, and hopefully you are set up for this. If you are setting up for the first time, be sure to keep the composting area away from the house since it will attract insects and animals. If you live in an urban environment and have no access to compost, you should try to dispose of any food waste in a green area, like a park for example. If you are composting, you probably already know this, but I'll say it anyways. Do not compost meat or bones, milk or cheese, oil and cooking grease or lard of any kind. No treated woods or chemically treated plants or diseased plants or human and animal feces. The next method for disposing of waste would be to bury it. Basically anything you can't burn or repurpose or compost, you may end up having to bury. Treated wood, feces, diapers, sanitary napkins, metal, plastic, bones, and so on. Use the 200-foot guide for your digging project. That is, dig in a place that's 200 feet from your home, 200 feet from any growing food production, such as a vegetable garden, for example, 200 feet from a water source, and 200 feet from anywhere that water may pool up so that any potential groundwater won't be contaminated by the seepage. I recommend digging it trench style and deep enough that you can put at least 18 inches of dirt on top when you're done. Mark the area so you remember where it is and watch out for depressions as it may sink over time, so you may need to add more dirt later. For disposal of human waste, i.e. digging a latrine, you can basically use the same examples used for burying garbage, only you will have to keep the trench open longer, so be sure to cover it so flies won't get in and carry bacteria out of the latrine and bring it every place else they come in contact with. The SAS Survival Handbook, if you don't have a copy I suggest finding one, suggests a trench latrine that's 4 foot deep and 18 inches wide with logs placed for sitting on. And that leaves us with one final point, disposing of the dead, whether animals or people. Believe it or not, some of the same principles of burying garbage or latrines applies here. Utilize the same 200-foot rule and bury deep enough so that there's no less than 18 inches of soil on top. Wrap the body before burying and be sure to wear gloves and a mask. If there's a plague or some other disease, you may want to wash over the body with bleach or some other chlorine solution, to prevent the spread of disease before burying. And I'm not discussing cremation simply because the average person is not really capable of producing the intense heat that would be required to do this properly. You would need a lot of fuel to maintain a 2000 Fahrenheit fire long enough to consume a corpse adequately. So I hope you found this discussion helpful. If there's any items you would like to add to the list, feel free to post your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you would like to help the channel out, there are links for that down below. Or you could simply let the ads run. You don't have to pay attention to them for them to count. Please do give the video a thumbs up, always appreciated. Share it if you can, and subscribe if you are new. Remember to hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos, and be sure to check out some of the other videos for more interesting content. That being said, as always, stay frosty folks, and thanks for watching.